Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. Cubs final game in Cincinnati here in 2017. They go for the three-game series sweep over the Reds. Beautiful night here in Cincy. Jim DeShays and Len Casper with you. The Cubs in a very favorable part of their schedule, and they have taken full advantage.
The Reds team really struggles in the pitching department. The Cubs have scored a bunch of runs against them all year, and that has continued in this series. It's a five-game winning streak now for the Cubs, one shy of their season best. But during this five-game run, batting .295, on base just shy of .400, doing a lot of slugging, scoring just under 8 runs per game.
And so now they've got their biggest lead in the division this season. The Brewers are off today. They're at the Dodgers this weekend. Cardinals will host the Padres tonight.
Yeah, and you see the Cubs with a 5-game lead in the all-important loss column. So dare we say a little bit comfortable now, playing good baseball right now and starting to extend this lead.
And they'll head to Philadelphia tomorrow. The Phillies have the worst record in Major League Baseball. But first things first, Jake Arrieta will take the ball tonight.
Yeah, and Jake against the Reds, usually a pretty good formula. 7-2 lifetime against Cincinnati, 2-0 this year. He's won his last 5 starts in this ballpark. And for the Reds, it's yet another rookie. They've featured a lot of them this year. Tonight, it's a big, hard-throwing right-hander by the name of Sal Romano. It's been up and down, but last time, very good. 7 innings of 1-run ball against the Braves.
In this series, the Cubs have plated 22 runs on 23 hits. Last night, they get out to an early lead and never looked back. They go for the sweep against the Reds. Next on CSN.
Chicago is brought to you in part by Lexus, who encourages you to experience amazing. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Ford, who invites you to go further in their fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out our entire lineup at your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Menards, save big money at Menards. And Southwest Airlines, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
Welcome back to Cincinnati and a reunion, the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League reunion. Katie Horstman throwing out the first pitch tonight. And great to see them here. And Joe Madden catching up with
probably checking on her availability out of the bullpen.
Baseball players, yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, fun to see them here tonight.
Let's get the Cubs Southwest starting lineup on a gorgeous night here in Ohio. Zobrist, Schwarber, and Bryant at the top. Rizzo, Happ, and Baez in the middle. Hayward, Rene Rivera getting his second start as a Cub, and Jake Arrieta rounding it out.
Cincinnati defensively, Adam Duvall left, Billy Hamilton center, Jesse Winker, a rookie, gets a start in right. Suarez, Cozart, Jeanette Votto, fairly typical look on the infield for the Reds these days. Tucker Barnhart rock solid behind the plate. He gets the catching assignment tonight, and it's a rookie right-hander by the name of Sal Romano. This will be the 57th start made by a Red rookie this year, second most in baseball behind the Colorado Rockies. For Romano, 9 starts, 3-5 with a 5.32 ERA. Big dude, 6'5", 270. He can get to 98 miles per hour with the fastball, sit comfortably around 95. He has a wipeout slider and a changeup, but that's kind of a pitch in development for him.
Ben
Obviously,
Zobrist will lead it off. And if he gets a hit, Denny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. I think I cut you off earlier. You had a pithy comment ready to go.
No, I was just going to say this is nothing pithy at all. Just this is our first look at Romano, and seen a bunch of their rookie pitchers. We've seen guys with big arms that, you know, raw, trying to figure it out. It's been a big issue with the Reds the last couple of years. They've got a good lineup. They score runs. They play good defense. But the development of their pitching is well behind their position players.
Fouled away by Ben. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Let's get the umpires for you. Adam Hammery back at the plate. He is from Michigan's Upper Peninsula, and it's his first year on the full-time staff. Siegel, Miller, Titchener working the bases this evening. 76 degrees as we get started. 2-2 is a strike. He got him on the inside corner. Weather-wise, this has been maybe the best 3-day stretch we've ever had here in Cincinnati. I mean, just perfect.
Yeah, normally this time of year you get some pretty nasty humidity. It'll be really hot and uncomfortable. But that kind of moved out of here the first day we were in. We have not had to deal with any rain delays or anything like that.
Kyle Schwarber with a home run last night. 2 for 10 in the series, including that home run. OPS of .913 since he returned from AAA in early July. StatCast powered by AWS. Shortest home run of Kyle's major league career. 350 feet. Still knocked in 3. He strikes out. Romano with back-to-back Ks to start the game.
Romano has good cheese. He's 23 years old. Born in Syosset, New York. That's out on Long Island, I believe. Went to high school in Connecticut. Same high school as Carl Pavano and Rob Dibble.
Yeah. He's been compared to Carl Pavano, who also went to Southington High School. Chris Bryant back in the lineup, only missed a game. Votto way off the line, so Romano has to get over. And the Cubs go quietly. The Reds coming up against Mr. Arrieta when we come back. Here's their Southwest starting lineup. Hamilton followed by Cozart and Votto. Adam Duvall is in left. Scooter Gennett back in there, his second start of the series. Suarez plays third. He's homered 3 times already in the set. Winker in right for Schebler. Tucker Barnhart catches, and Sal Romano does the pitching.
Cubs defensively, Ian Happ gets a start in center tonight. He's got Schwarber in left, Hayward in right. Javi Baez made a spectacular play last night to start a double play. He's joined by Zobrist in the middle. Chris Bryant back in there at third. Big Riz at first. Rivera behind the plate. Lexus starting pitcher is Jake Arrieta. Lexus experience amazing, and he's been awfully good here of late. 5-1 with a 2 since the All-Star break for the season. 13 up, 8 down, 363.
Grabbed his 13th win on Friday, 7-4 over the Blue Jays. 6 1/3, 1 run for his 7th consecutive quality start. He has not allowed more than 2 earned runs in his last 7 outings. That's a strike on Hamilton, 1-2.
Been pretty sinker heavy. He's been efficient. He's been pitching to contact, but we've seen a little jump in the velocity. The breaking pitch has been good. All of his pitches across the board have been effective offerings for him during this hot stretch.
You mentioned in the open, 7-2 lifetime against the Reds, including a no-hitter here. And 2-2 on Hamilton.
And his last 5 starts against the Reds have all come in this ballpark. He's won them all with an ERA of 3.
Hamilton 3 of 8 with a walk in the series. 3 out of 9 now as he strikes out.
Two-seam fastball, not really sinking, but good run on it. Up above the hands, and Hamilton can't get on top of it.
All-star shortstop Zach Cozart. 2 hits, 2 walks in the series. Career high 17 home runs. Arrieta 6'4", 225, 31 years old. Jake was drafted 3 different times out of 3 different places. Out of high school by the Reds. 31st round, 2004. Nice catch, Billy Hatcher. There's what's left of the bat.
Good play by Hatch. Kozar will have to get a new piece of lumber.
So 2004, 31st rounder the Reds did not sign. Brewers grabbed him in the 26th round, 2005 out of Weatherford College. And then 2 years later, the Orioles in the 5th round out of TCU. And he did sign. Two balls, 2 strikes. Joey Votto is on deck. Swing and a miss. He got him. So just like Romano, Arrieta striking out the first 2 batters he has faced tonight.
Got a good sink on that fastball. Kozar over the top. That doesn't strike out all that often. But as you saw those numbers, he has not had much luck at all against Jake Arrieta.
It's Joey Votto, who homered in the 9th last night. He's got a 27 game on base streak, reaching at a 56% clip during this streak.
Well, it's 0-2, and here's a fun little Votto factoid. His on base percentage after falling behind 0-2 is .379. Best in Major League Baseball. League average is .196.
Well, you see what Rivera did? I like that. I don't think I've ever seen a catcher do that. When he set up for that pitch, it was clear he wanted the comeback sinker because he put his glove over the inside corner and pulled it back over the plate.
Kind of designing the pitch.
Yes. Maybe again. Missed that time.
Jake looks to me like he's moved over more towards the middle of the rubber.
Here's the 0-2 setup. Watch Rivera's glove. That's great. And he hit his spot. We were talking with Chris Welsh before the game. Said 0-2, you might as well just go to 3-2. And that is the case. Got him on 3-2. Arrieta on a pace to strike out 27, and that'll set a major league record. He can do that 8 more times. Scoreless after 1. Baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. Romano to Rizzo starting the second, and outside for ball one. Last 10 games, Cubs averaging 7.9 runs per contest, hitting .299 as a team. They've got a 28-game walk streak.
They walked 15 times in the first 2 games of this series. It's in 2 or 3 hit by pitch, a few wild pitches. They're taking advantage of this red staff. Cincinnati has allowed 10 or more 21 times this year.
Fouled away. Still 1-2 on Anthony. PFP practice before, I guess PFP. Don't want to be redundant. Before batting practice today. Hitting ground balls to the pitchers and stuff you see in spring training. Romano off the mound. He'll take it unassisted. If I said PFP practice, it would be pitchers fielding practice. We'd like to welcome all our viewers watching on Optura in Knox and Fulton counties in Illinois. Happ drives one high and deep to right. Winker back at the wall. It's gone. Cubs lead 1-0 on Ian Happ's home run. Tommy LaStella likely waiting in the dugout for an interview.
Well, we've been talking a lot about, the damage that Anthony Rizzo has done against Cincinnati this year. Ian Happ as well. Boy, he likes that ball down. Fastball down. You're asking for trouble. There's the Ford home run replay as Ian Happ goes deep for the 19th time this year. It's the 3rd home run he's hit in this ballpark.
So a short interview. Here's Baez, the 0-1. Looked like it was off the plate as Javi did a double take.
Yeah, well, how frustrating is that for Javi? Because, he battles trying to lay off that slider off the plate, finally takes one, and he gets called.
Just missed on a fastball at 96. 10th major league appearance and start for Romano. First time he's ever faced the Cubs. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
One fortunate fan will win a player grade 2016 World Series ring donated by Jostens, with proceeds benefiting Cubs charities. Now through September 4th, Cub fans can purchase raffle tickets for $10 each. Tickets can be purchased online and at official raffle locations around Chicago. Visit Cubs.com/ring raffle.
Are we calling that breaking ball a slider or a curve?
I'm calling it a slider.
Is that?
It's kind of slurvy.
Velocity. Fangraphs calls it a curveball, but this pitch is 86, 87. Sliders, if they're breaking balls. That was a changeup. 2-0 on Hayward, who's had a nice series. 5 for 9 with 4 knocked in. That's a fair ball. And Votto to Romano for the out. Ian Happ with a 1-out homer, and the Cubs have the early lead.
to my attention the other day. He brought the microphone out at home. I thought it was pretty funny. And I caught a glimpse somewhere about Happer. Yes, was it Happer?
Yeah.
Which is like the most unlikely candidate. See, the things like that, I like the idea that it brings something out of you that you normally would not throw out there and expose yourself to the rest of the group. And I think you might expose a sense of humor that other people did not even realize. So I like it. I like all that kind of stuff. I'm all for it. I would imagine Tommy not playing tonight. The mic should go back to Tommy tonight, I would hope. And I have no idea. He just showed up.
Give it to him? He found it at Wrigley Field.
Is that he said? That's even better.
Is anybody missing a mic?
They showed up in a dugout the other day, and he told me he was going to do. He interviewed me briefly the other day before the game. I can't remember what it was. I would easily tell you guys. I just can't remember what he asked me. But he comes up very seriously, asks the question, pops the mic out. I think it's good. Actually, if he could actually record it, it'd be a great little in-game gig. Because the humor is pretty good. There's certain things you might not be able to use, others you might be able to use.
Giga time moment powered by Xfinity. Stealing my idea. Tommy La Stella and Ian Happ. Great stuff. Duvall fouls, still 1-2 on the Reds left fielder. Yeah, I told Ian, I said, you've got to do our post-game interview tonight. He said, nope, I only do in-game.
We'd have to pay him extra.
Another foul, count holding. '31st home run by a Cub against Reds pitching this season. This is the 16th game in the season series. Cubs have won 10 and lost 5.
Yeah, Ian's been a very streaky performer. Man, he's going to strike everybody out.
He's halfway to a Deshays. Arrieta has struck out the first 4.
Ian, getting back to Happ, he's been very streaky this year. He's on a very good roll now. He's hit 5 home runs in the last 9 or 10 games. Inflicted a lot of damage against the Reds. Of course, went to college here at the University of Cincinnati.
Scooter Gennett homered on Tuesday. Back on June 6th against the Cardinals. Had one of the best games any offensive performers ever had in this sport. 5 hits, 4 homers, 10 RBIs. 17th player to hit 4 homers in a game. I mean, I don't have the list in front of me, but consider all the home run hitters who've never hit 4 in a game, and Scooter has. That's a pretty cool thing. Is he's the first Red to put a ball in play on the ground out to the pitcher.
Yeah, and you normally equate slugging with big guys, and Scooter's he's put together. He's a strong kid, but he's not a prototypical slugger.
The third baseman, Suarez, 4 for 9, 3 homers, 6 RBIs in the first 2 games. Last night he became the 4th batter with 20 home runs in a season in this ballpark. Adam Dunn did it 3 times. Jay Bruce, Todd Frazier, the other Reds. So he's only got 4 homers on the road, 20 here at home. And the hitters count, and a diving stab by Bryant to rob Suarez. Nicely done, Chris Bryant. And the Reds finished in the 2nd. Cubs lead 1-0.
returns with fast-paced pick-up-and-play MLB action packed with all your favorite MLB teams, players, ballparks, and more. Get RBI Baseball today for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and mobile devices. Learn more at rbigame.com.
Rene Rivera, 1 ball, 1 strike. Picked up on waivers from the Mets over the weekend. Debuted with the Cubs on Sunday. One of 5 starting catchers the Cubs have used this season. Well, he drives one out into right. Winker will make the catch. All right, I have the list of 4 homer performances, so I'm going to do a little trivia here with you if you'd like.
Okay,
I'll give you a name.
I pulled it up as well.
Oh, you did? All right, never mind. I was going to give you a name and do the did this guy ever hit 4 home runs? But that really wouldn't be fair since you already have the list.
I could have looked really smart, but it would have been cheating. Really, if there's no prize on the line, there's no need to cheat. If there was cash available, then I would say bring it on. The article I found was from Newsday back shortly after Scooter did it, and the headline was Scooter Gennett, not the worst player ever to hit 4 home runs in a game.
Well, that's a backhanded compliment.
Yeah. They gave that honor to Pat Seary of the White Sox, who did it in 1948. But yeah, most of the guys on that list are pretty well-known sluggers, right? Chuck Klein, Delgado, Colavito.
Arrieta grounds to Cozart. Easy play for Zach. And 2 outs. It'll bring up Zobrist, who started the game with a strikeout.
That Mays fellow, Lou Gehrig, Mike Schmidt, Big Ed Delahanty.
I remember when Bob Horner did it. And takes low for ball 1. Boy, the clubhouse was riveted before the game watching the Yankees and the Tigers. They had 3 bench clearing incidents, and there will be many suspensions handed out, I believe, after a pretty nasty day.
There
Tigers won the
ejections.
game. (2-0) toward the middle and through for a base hit. I only caught bits and pieces. You know, guys were thrown at, guys were hit. Miguel Cabrera and Austin Romine, right? And Miguel started to throw some haymakers, and when he ended up down on the dirt, looked like Gary Sanchez got in a couple of blows. James McCann later on got hit.
That's what really escalates things. Typically, guys, you know, once the scrum happens, everybody's trying to pull other guys, you know, off, and normally there's a number of peacemakers and it doesn't escalate, but that one got a little ugly. Sanchez got in a couple of cheap shots.
Alan Betances beamed James McCann later. Hopefully nobody was seriously hurt. That's a line out for Schwarber as he hit it right to Suarez. Bad luck for Kyle. 1-0 Cubs in the 3rd.
Straits, the site of the 2020 Ryder Cup for our Golf Digest. Top 100 public courses are located in Kohler, Wisconsin, a mere 2 hours from Chicago. Learn more at whistlingstraits.com/Cubs.
Jesse Winker leading off the Reds third. They do not have a base runner so far, and a curve at 78 in for strike.
Good mix of pitches here from Arrieta, mixing a little curve. The slider's been good. Sinker heavy, that's been a big part of his MO here in this second half of the season, pitching to contact. So the strikeout rate is actually down for Jake in the second half, but the ground ball rate is up. To be the changeup there at 89. So the action on the sinker and the changeup very similar. And one's he's throwing 92, 93, sometimes 94. The other one's 88, 89. Not a huge difference, but it's effective.
A fly ball left field, pretty well hit. Schwarber looks back, little late adjustment, and he cradles it for the out.
Now Winker hitting for more power at the big league level than he did in the minor leagues this year.
The switch hitting catcher Tucker Barnhart. And a called strike. 1 for 5 with an RBI double on Tuesday. Stuart Turner played last night. Just missed the bottom of the zone that time. It's 1-1. Off to Philadelphia for the weekend. Phillies dropped a 9-8 decision to the Marlins today. Miami back to the 500 mark. Giancarlo Stanton hit his 47th.
Probably too little too late for the Marlins, but an impressive run here in the last month or so. A team that early in the year a lot of people were focusing on Stanton, Ozuna, Yelich, D. Gordon at the top of the order. Looked like they would score a bunch of runs. They had a hard time getting on track. The pitching was kind of a mixed bag.
Another inside the Parker today, JT Realmuto. And the Marlins able to come back after trailing by 5 to grab the win.
Marlins club reminds me a little bit of this Reds team. You know, a team with a good lineup, good position players, but they need some help on the mound.
Barnhart swings and misses. That's number 5 for Arrieta here early. All swinging.
So yeah, for the longest time the Nationals were the only team in that division above 500. The Marlins now at 500.
The non-division opponents for the Cubs left: Atlanta, New York, Philadelphia, and the Tampa Bay Rays. That's it. Everything else will be inside the National League Central. Romano left-handed bat. And the 0-2, he struck him out. Jake cruising along early. Has faced 9. He's got 6 strikeouts. on Ian Happ's 19th home run. Bryant, Rizzo, and Happ against rookie right-handers Sal Romano. Jake Arrieta has been sharp and efficient here early on.
Yeah, he's got really good stuff here tonight and tremendous movement on his fastball.
Dodgers won their 90th game today. Just beat the
Dodgers. Did?
Yep.
So they won yet another series, right? They haven't lost a series in forever.
Ball one on Bryant.
And that's where the Brewers go next, right? They have the Dodgers over the weekend.
Brewers are in LA. Yep. Off day there today. Three and 0 the count. He's been around the plate, just hasn't found the zone to start this inning.
He seems a little perplexed. I don't think he's agreeing with Adam Hammery, the home plate umpire.
The wind in the pitch, that is a strike.
Challenge for these young Reds pitchers, you know, they've got good stuff. They just have to learn to pitch at this level. When to attack, when to back off. Brian Price has said he'd like to see Romano throw a few more changeups. In his last start, he did throw a lot of changeups, and he had success against Atlanta. It's tough for a young pitcher, though. You know, if that's a pitch you haven't had a lot of confidence nor a lot of success with in the minor leagues, to get up here facing big league hitters and commit to it.
Boy, Chris nearly got hit on that troublesome left hand, just able to get out of the way on ball 4. Dare to live in full color with Blue Man Group, the spectacular collision of comedy, theater, rock concert, and dance party all rolled into one. Catch our boys in blue at the Briar Street Theater. Call 800 Blue Man or visit blueman.com. Leadoff man aboard. Anthony Rizzo, the batter. Here's the pitch. Low and outside.
Romano made 10 AAA starts this year, but only threw 49 innings in those starts. I don't know if it was pitch count issues or just part of their development program. They're trying to ease guys along. It's the other part of it. You try to protect young arms, but if you don't throw enough innings, it's hard to develop feel.
Foul strike makes it 1-1. Calm conditions, wind not doing a whole lot. Maybe the biggest crowd of the series. Been in the mid-teens here the first couple of nights.
And Reds averaging 23,000 and change this year. They're near the bottom of the league in home attendance. They are in last place and pretty comfortably in last place, if that makes any sense. Watch your ribs. And if they finish last, it'll be 3 consecutive years. That has not happened to this club since the 30s. Two
To Rizzo, and a fly ball to left. Easy play for Adam Duvall. He's got it. One out here in the fourth. Now Happ, who homered in the second. Well, we're here in Cincinnati where for such a long time the Reds basically opened the season, right? The first game was always here.
Yep.
And that's no longer the case.
They have a big parade downtown.
It's in the dirt, and I guess way back when the old Washington team was in the American League, they would host the first American League game. Now see, I like traditions like that, even if they seem to benefit one team. Swing and a miss by Happ. I know that there had been some grousing in the NFL about the Cowboys and the Lions always getting the Thanksgiving Day game, but I think that's a fun tradition. I think it would be a nice tradition if the Pirates were the host team for the Williamsport Little League Classic, which seemed to be a success. I don't see why it has to be two different teams every year. Maybe that can kind of be the Pirates thing.
Yeah, if they want it to be their thing.
If they
might not want it to be their thing. There's a level of inconvenience that goes with that that they might not want to do. Next year, the MLB is rolling out this spotlight game that will take place on the Thursday during the All-Star break. And the Cubs will play the Cardinals in that spotlight game next year. I don't think the players are particularly excited for that. But, you know, they'll be all right.
Two and two on Happ. Hearing talk, and the schedule is not out yet, but that the season will start on a Thursday.
There's going to be 4 more off days built into the schedule next off season.
Right.
So that will necessitate starting Wednesday or Thursday.
Good battle here. Happ took him deep first time around. Bryant with a medium lead at first. Called strike 3 on the corner. His 4th strikeout.
Yeah, come on back, two-seamer. That's how he got Zobrist to start the ball game. See where that fastball slider combination would be really tough on right-handed hitters, and the ability to throw that two-seamer moving back to the inside corner will help him against lefties, especially if he doesn't feel comfortable with the changeup.
Good rip by Baez.
The other thing about too is as a young pitcher comes up through the minor leagues, it's not as common for teams to load up, you know, a nasty right-hander with a bunch of left-handed hitters. They're just going to play their best guys most days in the minor leagues. So probably have the platoon advantage as a pitcher more in the minor leagues than you do in the big leagues.
Ground ball into center field. Bryant will take a look. No need to advance, already in scoring position with 2 outs.
So by platoon advantage, I mean right-handed pitcher on right-handed batter, left on left. The advantage is, normally for a left-handed hitter against a right-handed pitcher. So pitcher coming to the big leagues is going to face situations more frequently where he does not have that advantage, and that's why it's important to have that pitch to neutralize hitters from the other side of the plate, whether it be a good changeup or backdoor breaking ball, whatever it is, to get them off your primary pitches.
Ball 1 on Hayward.
I love his arm, man. He's consistently 95 to 97, and I like the angles too. A big tall kid gets on top of the ball and drives it downhill.
Reds really try to cut off that hole on the right side. Votto and Jeanette kind of pinching that area. That not a lot of space between them. There's a ground ball right to Jeanette. Cubs strand a couple, lead 1-0 midway in the 4th.
Struck out the first 4 men he faced tonight. He has 6 altogether. He's got tremendous movement on his fastball. He's doing some tough angles for these red hitters. Got Joey Votto on a sinker moving off the plate. Elevates there to get Duvall. Barnhart goes down. There's the pitcher Romano, completely overmatched. 9 up, 9 down for the big righty. Get over curve to get started. Apparently it didn't get over. I thought it did.
1-0 on Hamilton. And fouled away off to the left. You mentioned this to me off the air, and you're absolutely right. I mean, it's strange to say, but the Reds have as static a lineup as any in the National League. Pretty much count on most of the spots on a nightly basis, particularly in the outfield. And that's something they're going to have to deal with here as they get into September, is finding time for a guy like Jesse Winker. I'm Sure, Phillip Ervin will be back in September, but Duvall, Hamilton, and Schebler are their starting outfield.
Yeah, and I think they feel good with most of their position players going forward. We don't know what's going to happen with Cozart. He'll be a free agent at the end of the year. I think the Reds hope to re-sign him. Otherwise, he ends up walking and they get nothing in return.
Three-two to Hamilton. Bounce to Rizzo, and he plays a short hop. And gets his man.
Cubs offer special programs designed for your future Cub, from Kids Sundays at Wrigley Field to Clark's Crew and baseball summer camps throughout Chicagoland. There are many ways to build lifelong Cub memories with your kids. Visit Cubs.com/kids to learn all about our Cubs Kids offerings. And nice play there by Anthony with Hamilton, the batter runner. You got to come and get it. You don't want to wait back.
Cozart takes a pitch a little low. The answer to my question is whatever Zach Cozart wants, he'll do. But it's interesting going into free agency. Just what factors will play into his decisions? Money usually is right at the top of the list. Money and security, so number of years. That gets past Bryant. Baez out to chase it down, but Schwarber now will pick it up. Cozart is at second. We'll see how they score it.
First hit of the game, always a tough decision for the official score. Sharply hit. A play Chris certainly capable of making. Made a dandy earlier on the dive, snaring the line drive off the bat of Suarez.
It's an error on Bryant. And here's Votto. So Arrieta from the stretch for the first time tonight, and just missed on a very good pitch.
Yeah, well received by Rivera too. I like the way he presents that ball. He's got good hands back there. Yeah,
for Cozart, so this will be the biggest deal he signs in his career. So do you take the security, the money? But my main question is what team it is, and I include the Reds in that decision. So let's say the Reds make him the best offer, but there's another team out there that's a playoff contender right now. How much does that play into it? And everybody's different, but I'd have to think that matters a little bit, right? I mean, he's been on a team that hasn't been very good here the last few years.
Well, it's a great place to hit, this ballpark. What we don't know is whether he likes playing here or not. Let's just assume that he does. A good place to hit. He's been here a while now. He's comfortable with everybody around him. That matters.
His family's comfortable.
Yeah,
that plays in.
And I think players too. I think for the most part, players are optimistic about their own club's future. I think you can put yourself, if you're Cozart, going, well, we got good position players. We got some young pitchers with good arms. Maybe we're not that far away, and that would be part of the pitch from the Reds too, as they try to re-sign him and say, hey, look, we've got these plans. Maybe they're going to be aggressive, trying to go out and find a free agent pitcher or two to augment what they have. The other part you don't know, players have dream jobs like anybody else in any other profession. They have, man, someday I'd like to play for the fill in the blank, and if that were to become available, you probably would jump at it.
Reds are going to tie it up as Cozart will score. Votto will stick with a single. That's their first hit. It's an unearned run, and it's 1-1.
And the Cozart ball hit more sharply than the Votto ball was, but it adds up to a run for the Reds. And this time Votto able to stay back nicely on the breaking pitch, pull the hands in, and just serve this one to right field. He's, I don't know, 350 and change with runners in scoring position this year.
So they've tied it up, and it'll bring up Duvall. And the last word on Cozart is, what incentive do the Reds, does a team like the Reds have to give him more than a year or two, considering where they are as a franchise. You want to overstretch your budget to bring back a guy in his 30s.
Well, I don't think they would go beyond 3 years, and they probably would be more comfortable going 2 with an option and maybe with some incentives. And it would be maybe willing to give more on the average annual value as opposed to just the years. Because I just think from their perspective, the fact that they did not trade him, and he had some injury issues this year that maybe they felt like they couldn't get the return they were looking for. But once you let a potential free agent get by the trade deadline, you know, you haven't gotten back, you haven't moved him to get quality pieces in return. I think it becomes, you know, there's more pressure on the organization to make a competitive offer as opposed to just letting him walk.
Pulled to left. Schwarber is there. 2 outs.
Although I guess they could make him the qualifying offer and then get the draft pick in return if he doesn't.
Might be a better.
There's value there. Yeah.
Better quote haul than trading him. My uneducated hunch is that he's not back, only because they do have Peraza. But we'll see. Now Jeanette with 2 outs. And it's funny, the second most asked question when I run into Cub fans, the first one is more about, you know, how do you think it's going to play out this year? The second one is Jake coming back? And that will be a top of mind question after this season. As Jeanette hits it high in the air. Happ and Hayward, and it's Ian Happ right in front of the wall to end the inning. Reds get an unearned tally to tie it. It's 1-1 after 4.
On Saturday, the band stop at the Friendly Confines as part of their Welcome Home tour and will feature special guest Hunter Hayes. Tickets are on sale now at Cubs.com/Zach Brown Band. Hey, there goes the Redzilla mobile.
Mark Stillman put a GoPro on it.
See?
So what is it shooting?
It's shooting baseballs.
Okay.
I'm assuming they're soft, kind of rubberized or padded of some sort. But
that horn is not annoying at all. Oh, 2 on Rivera.
That would be more popular than the ice cream truck in the neighborhood. Roll that down the street.
We need more horn.
There you go. There you see the balls flying through the air. Oh, they're T-shirts. They're balled up T-shirts.
Okay. Do we know what the T-shirts say?
They say, we're not a ball, we're a T-shirt.
So Rivera will tiptoe back into the box. Ready for a 1-2. Swing and a miss.
We've seen Asher Wojciechowski, rookie right-hander, a couple of times, and he has really struggled against the Cubs. Both at Wrigley and then here. We've seen the kid Castillo. He was most impressive. He was upper 90s with a nasty changeup.
You know, I like looking up the origins of certain rules. I've got the Dixon baseball dictionary, which is really cool. I'll occasionally just look at some random stuff, but I have to be honest, I didn't look this up. But we often get the question, why does the catcher have to throw to first on a dropped third strike? And I just thought about what I think the answer is. Do you know?
I don't know.
So logic would dictate a fly ball is caught, a ground ball is thrown to first. You can also tag somebody, but in the case of a dropped third strike, the ball isn't caught or a tag isn't applied. So I'm guessing that's why, right? That to complete an out, one of those actions has to occur. Does that seem to make sense?
Yeah. I mean, it would also make sense that if that rule did not exist. I mean, I don't think it has to exist, right? I mean, you swing and miss a strike three, you're out, play's over.
Correct. But I'm guessing somebody thought, well, all the other outs in our game have these common traits. So we need to make sure that
it completes the play. Correct.
Just a theory. Swing and a miss. Well, a good power slider at 89 miles an hour.
Well, what about in the Wayback Machine in the beginning of baseball when the catchers were way behind home plate and the ball would bounce to them anyway? They probably weren't throwing to first in that.
Probably not.
Instance. So it was probably once the catcher started to squat behind home plate, maybe that's when they decided to put that rule in force.
But it begs the question, if you could get rid of the drop third strike rule, would you? And just say he's out. See, because that's the case, the Cubs probably don't win.
The Jays the other day, yeah.
So I'm all for it.
You can't get rid of that rule.
Romano strikes out the side, 1-1 in the fifth. You can follow Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider, at csnchicago.com. Presented by nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Go to jeffvuk.com or follow him on social media. Nationwide is on your side. Suarez hoists one into right, and it drops. Zobrist and Hayward got together. We saw one of these last year. Little miscommunication, and Suarez gets a cheap hit.
Both guys thought the other guy had to play. You see Mason peeking at Zoe. Zoe was yielding to Hayward. And now they're both pulling very hard for a ground ball double play. There's baseball justice for you. Suarez hit that rocket that Brian caught last time up. Probably hit it 100+ miles per hour on a line, and then a little blooper turns into a knock.
Two strikes on Jesse Winker. Arrieta retired the first 10. Bryant with the error. Votto knocked in Cozart, an unearned run. And now a hit that basically is an error. Oh, 2 way outside, dropped briefly by Rivera. By the way, on a drop third strike here, as JD mentioned, Winker is automatically out. I think you mentioned it. If not, they don't have to throw to first because first base is occupied. Two and two. Outside that time. 0-2 to 3-2. Reading a baseball prospectus piece today about earned runs. They walked him. And a relief pitcher's earned runs sometimes don't match a team's earned runs. So, for instance, a relief pitcher does not get the benefit of unearned runs when he comes into the game. So let's say Suarez had reached and they had called it an error, and Jake then was taken out of the game. If Suarez then scored, it would be an unearned run for the Cubs, but that run potentially could be an earned run for the pitcher later. Or the batter would score later and you try to recreate the inning. I think that particular rule is the best reason why the team error should exist. Because we do that already with earned runs. I don't see why we can't have errors that count in terms of helping a pitcher's earned run average, but aren't charged to any particular player. That last play that we saw is a hit and should not be a hit. It's not a hit.
Should have been. Yeah, an out should have been recorded on that ball.
And I'm fine not giving an error to Zobrist or Hayward, or a half an error each, whatever, but Jake should not be penalized. 0-2 to Barnhart is in the dirt. Now he's got a chance here because the pitcher's on deck, so Barnhart's the key guy in this inning.
Yeah, the way he's been throwing the ball tonight, I still think the most likely outcome of this inning is the Reds don't score. Even though they're first and second, nobody out, and I'm sure any kind of run expectancy chart would show you that there's a pretty good chance they're going to score, given the fact that he's at the bottom of the order. There's the first out.
So Barnhart retired, and Romano has a quick chat with Billy Hamilton before heading to the plate and talking about a bunting strategy.
Celebrate and honor Chicago's first responders by supporting Kyle Schwarber's inaugural block party event Sunday, September 10th. The event will feature premium meats, straight off the flame, delicious appetizers, signature cocktails, and an exclusive live and silent auction. Good adjectives, folks. Guests will play lawn games, listen to live music, hang out with Cub players and first responders. Cubs.com/block party for tickets. Maybe you could get in a three-legged race with Kyle Schwarber.
4 sack bunts for Romano, who is 0 for 13 with 8 strikeouts as a major league hitter.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Hamilton told Romano, hey, make sure you try to bunt this ball towards third base. For 2 reasons. One, that's the right play when you're trying to advance a runner to third. You're trying to get the third baseman to leave. The second part of it is Anthony Rizzo is so aggressive defending the bunt. If you drop it out towards the mound, there's a good chance he's going to swoop in, pick it up, and fire it to third base. Now that he's got 2 strikes on him, though, he can't afford to be too fine.
Outside for a ball. 1-2. Here
comes the blitz. What do they call in football? Is he the Mike? What do they call the linebacker?
There's a Mike, yeah.
Here comes the Mike. Here comes the Tony.
Rizzo will throw to third in time. They get Suarez.
Yeah, you know, Suarez has got to slide there, and he's got to be in a position where, you know, he's just got a very small secondary, and he's not running all that hard towards third base. And maybe he's just assuming the play is going to be made elsewhere. But obviously, in your scouting reports, the Reds play the Cubs a whole bunch. They know how they defend this play. That's bad base running by Suarez. To be forced there at third and not even be in a position where you could slide and make it close. Well, he's 2/3 of the way to getting out of this mess. This is Hamilton's better side. And I don't mean his profile, I mean his batting skills.
One and two. Look out. Wasn't in, but it was up. Single by Suarez on a blooper to right, a walk to Winker, But then Barnhart struck out looking. Romano bunted into a fielder's choice. And it's 2-2 on Billy Hamilton. 1-1 tie, 5th inning. The pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3, gets out of it. And we're still tied at 1.
Football kicks off tomorrow night. Catch all the thrilling highlights, matchups, and post-game interviews. Kelly Crawl hosts High School Lights, presented by Wintrust, tomorrow at 11. That would be p.m. on CSN, or live stream at csnchicago.com.
If you're curious about the origins of the drop third strike, I did retweet a link sent to me by Tom. Thanks, Tom. Not too long for us to read during the game. Might take me about a week to read through it, but Kyle Schwarber to right. Winker will catch it. He got on top of it a little too much with top spin action.
Out in front of that slide ball a little bit. And staying through it. Kind of pulls off just a little bit, catches it down near the end of the bat.
This has been a much different game so far than what we saw in the first 2 nights. 13-9. Cubs came back to win on Tuesday. And a 9-3 win last night.
I think the Reds pitching had only recorded maybe 3 innings the first 2 games of this series. This kid's been impressive.
By the way, how about Chris Bryant and the way he battles through day-to-day injuries? Had the ankle, had the finger, now the hand. And he misses a day or two, and he's right back in there.
Yeah, he knows how important he is to this lineup, and loves to play the game. Knows that even when he's not at full strength, he's very dangerous.
Fair ball. All the way into the left field corner. It's a double.
He's on for the second time. He walked last time. This slider backs up a little bit on Romano. Chris rifles her right down the third base line, gets into scoring position for Anthony Rizzo. We'll see how aggressive the Reds are with Riz with the base open. To that point in the game, we start to contemplate such things. Top half of the sixth in a 1-1 ball game.
Couple of shots here to retake the lead. That ball one?
Yeah, it was a good looking pitch.
Emery has missed a few on both sides tonight.
I don't know if just the extreme movement or there was a little bit of a cross up there, but Barnhart clearly fooled by that pitch and went out to have a chat with Romano. I think he was crossed up. Pretty impressive that he caught that ball, because if you're looking slider there and he throws 96 with that kind of running action, that'd be an easy pitch to whiff on or box it at least.
Sixth inning in St. Louis. Padres 2, Cardinals 1. Popped up. Rizzo angrily slams the bat down as Cozart makes the catch. Let's see if Happ can get the job done here. He homered in the second, struck out in the fourth.
I think they'd be heavy slider here to Ian in this at bat with the base open. Sliders down and in and fastballs up may be the way they go. The other part of the challenge that Brian Price has managing this club with all this young pitching. This may be a situation where he would just feel more comfortable putting Happ on, pitching to Baez. But if you don't trust you got all these young pitchers and you don't know that they can execute what you envision them doing, sometimes it's tougher to make that call. A couple of good tries with the fastball, just missing the edge. And he's hit 6 of his 19 home runs against the Reds this year. He's joining Rizzo on their public enemy list.
And it was Bryant last year, 3-0.
I'll put him on now.
So this will intentionally be logged as an intentional walk.
Check out the variety of luxury premier options that Wrigley Field has to offer, like the Dell EMC Legends Suite, which includes an all-inclusive suite experience and, best of all, a visit from a former Cub player. Visit Cubs.com/premier for an option that fits your needs.
Mac Jenkins has been out there a lot in this series.
Old Mac is back in town. Old Mac is back on the mound.
Baez the batter, 2 outs, 2 on, 1-1 tie. Cubs trying to complete their 7th series sweep and notch their 6th consecutive win. There's a base hit. Bryant around third. Duvall's throw. Late. Cubs lead 2-1.
I would imagine the conversation with Jenkins and his battery was, get ahead of him and then expand with the slider. Well, he didn't let him get ahead. He jumped all over that first offering. Whacked it into left. Duvall's been good out there. Leads the league in outfield assists, but Bryant, that great speed. Home safely.
Single for Baez. He moves to second on the throw. With 2 more in scoring position for Hayward. Swing and a miss. Baez tied the game Tuesday with a 2-run single. Tonight giving his team its 2nd lead.
Hayward had a couple RBI knocks in the ball game last night. Baseball America tabbed Romano as the Reds' 8th best prospect. And voted him best fastball in their organization.
All right, so did you see the commissioner referenced sign stealing recently?
No.
In terms of pace of game? So we saw the catcher go to the mound. It's the 2nd visit this inning. Had the pitching coach and now the catcher. And I have a feeling they're going to limit all visits to the mound next year. Bounce to Jeanette. That'll end the inning, but the Cubs have the lead 2-1 on the Baez RBI single, scoring Chris Bryant.
2-1. Visit the Cubs Authentics auction page every week for your chance to own one-of-a-kind Cubs items. This week's auction includes a Hendricks jersey and an Almora jersey. Go to Cubs.com/authentics before Sunday at 8 to place your bid. The Cubs will donate net proceeds from the sale of Cubs Authentics to Cubs charities.
Arrieta's given up an unearned run. It has the lead. Cozart reached on a Chris Bryant error in the fourth, scored on Novano's single. 2, 3, and 4 here in the sixth. Just missed. Arrieta home, missed again.
Even though he has power, I'm guessing he's taking all the way here.
He is, and it's a strike. 2 big league games in the state of Ohio tonight. Cleveland with a 7-4 lead over the Red Sox in the 5th inning. On the shores of Lake Erie. Brian Bensing starting to get loose. Shot out toward left center. Schwarber will cut it off and keep Cozart to a single. Nice play by Kyle. That ball could have gotten to the wall, and at that point is at least a double.
Just about everything in that sequence down on the corner, just off the edges. Jake made a lot of quality pitches, tough pitches. He fell behind in the count, but mostly due to the patience of Cozart. Then left one up, and Cozart jumped on it.
Votto extended his on-base streak with that RBI hit. Now at 28 games. Schwarber back over his head. Cozart to third. Billy Hatcher is going to try to send him. Baez with a relay throw. They've got a chance. He is out at the plate. What a throw.
Every day we ask the question, what is Javi Baez going to do today? It's going to be the glove. Is it going to be the bat? Well, today it's the arm.
Really surprised Billy Hatcher sent him just because there were no outs.
No outs, and Cozart's had a quadricep problem, so he has not been running particularly well. A bit of a misread out there by Schwarber, but he recovers, makes a strong throw into Baez, and look how quickly he turns and fires that ball home. I think Hatcher's he's reading that ball rolling back towards in the infield. I think he was surprised by how quickly Schwarber got on it. And then a great play by Baez.
So Votto with a double. The batter is Duvall, and he nearly got hit on a curve.
Again, I don't know if Cozart just slides in feet first into home plate instead of trying to go in the back door. Maybe he's safe.
High fly right field. Hayward in foul territory. 2 outs. Bring up Jeanette. Well, this would be a nice escape.
Well, first and second, nobody out in the 5th. got out of it unscathed, and that, you know, he was at the bottom of the order there. He kind of sensed that would be the case. When the ball left Votto's bat, it looked for sure like the Reds were going to at least put a run on the board in this inning. And they'd thrown up the stop sign at third base. It would have been at second and third, nobody out. You would have liked their chances.
Chris Bosio with some instructions. Carl Edwards Jr. has joined the lefty Dunsing. Jeanette putting together a career year. 0 for 2 tonight. Backdoor breakers outside. Jake with a 1-0. 2-0 on Jeanette. Bounced in and out of the dugout. The 7th, now 2-2 tie, Padres and Cardinals. Yadier Molina tied it with an RBI single in the 6th.
Trevor Rosenthal is going to have Tommy John surgery. He's done for the year.
3-1 count on Jeanette. Suarez on deck.
Put him on. Question is, does Arrieta get Suarez or Edwards?
Joe chatting with the pitching coach. He's going to let Arrieta face Suarez. Two on, two down.
Suarez struggles with the changeup. Arrieta hasn't thrown a bunch of those tonight, but he likes his changeup and he's not afraid to throw it right on right. There it is. Can get the chase.
Rays over the Jays 2-0 in Tampa Bay today. Diamondbacks beat the Mets 3-2.
Just missed. I believe that was Robbie Ray's return to the mound. Been out of action since getting whacked with a comebacker. It's been close to a month since he's pitched.
Rockies beat the Royals 3-2 in Kansas City. Greg Holland got the save right after he gave up the Hosmer game-ending homer.
Back to the changeup there on 2-1, just was not able to execute the pitch.
Is behind Suarez here, leading by a run. The pitch. Bases loaded. That'll bring up Winker.
So sure he didn't swing at that.
That'll be it for Jake.
It's a slider. It's well off the plate. I guess he checked. Yeah, he's all right.
So bases loaded. I assume it's Dunsing. Yep, it's the lefty Brian Dunsing to come in with 3 on, 2 down, and the Cubs lead 2-1 in the 6th. Weber sauces and seasonings called to the pen. Call grilling flavor up to the bigs. Veteran lefty Brian Dunsing makes his 54th appearance.
And in those previous 53 games, he has pitched to a 2.47 ERA, 51 innings. He has struck out 55. See the splits on him in terms of batting average. He's actually been tougher on right-handed hitters than left. Sometimes that can be a little misleading, but Brian Price is buying it. He's going to let Winker, left-handed hitter, stay in here and take this at bat.
Single, double, intentional walk, and a walk, and they have not scored because of the 7-6-2 put out at the plate. Winker takes low, ball 1. Will not be a quality start for Arrieta because he did not complete 6 innings, but he was very good tonight. We'll call it
first 10 men.
We'll call it informally a quality start.
Yeah, well, there you go, right? If the definition of a quality start is 6 innings and 3 runs, if you go 5 2/3 and allow no earned runs, then there should be some way to quantify that to say that that is every bit as good or actually better than a 6-inning 3-run performance. He's still responsible for those men out there on base.
Two and 1, he held. He kind of winked at it.
Winker wink?
But a wink is not a swing. Ground ball. Rizzo's got it. He's going to throw to Baez at second to end the inning. They leave the bases loaded. Cubs still lead the game 2-1. Prime. Kelly Kroll gets to the bottom of the Cubs bullpen dance. Who participates? Where did it start? And how do the other Cubs players feel about it? Don't miss on In the Loop Prime tonight after Cubs post-game live. Romano into the seventh facing Rene Rivera. An outside ball one. Cubs lead this game 2-1.
This game feels very differently than most of the matchups between these two clubs this year. Been a lot of high scoring affairs.
Our colleague Tommy LaStella has put down his microphone and grabbed a bat. Three and one. Rene watched Cubs baseball growing up in Puerto Rico with his grandfather.
He'll be sitting dead red right here.
3-2. Ball four on a close one.
See, that's it for me. That's a good 3-2 take, even if you get rung up. I mean, if it's a strike, it's a perfect pitcher's pitch, right? Bottom of the knees.
Yeah, what are you going to do with it? Ground ball to short.
Yeah, and you know, people would argue, man, with two strikes, you can't leave that in the hand of the umpires. He might ring you up, but this time he left it in the hands of the umpire, and it went his way. And if he swings at it, he's not likely to do anything good with it.
Tommy LaStella. For Dunsing. High for a ball.
talk all the time about how Listella's good against velocity, and that's been a big part of the program for Romano here tonight.
Drew Storen up in the Reds pen.
See if he can get the head out in front of one of these heaters and whack it through that hole on the right side.
There it comes, and it's a strike on a buzzer. 95 from Romano. He went 1-2. How about in that Yankee Tiger game? Alex Wilson got the win. Dylan Betances took the loss. Both guys got kicked out.
Doesn't happen every day, does it?
No, it doesn't. 10-6 Detroit, the final. Votto stepped on the bag, and the tag not in time to get Rivera. And Cozart's convinced that he's out. So for now, 1 out. Rivera at second. He gets a pat on the back from a guy who is convinced he was out.
A little mishandle there by Votto. Otherwise, it's a more routine 3-6-3, possible 3-6-1 double play.
He may have gotten him right there. I think he's out. And they have challenged. I don't think he ever got to the bag before the tag.
Yeah, throwing his legs out to the side again, not going feet first into the base. May have been a difference maker. And I love this. You talk about wanting to have a microphone and do a documentary about the conversations in a dugout post home run. These conversations that go on out there with the two principals involved in the play during the replay would be fun to listen in on that as well.
So as we wait for determination by the replay center in New York, this game in Detroit that featured 3 bench clearing situations, it seems as though there was an intra-team squabble that we don't quite have the details on regarding the Tigers. One more look.
So
right there.
He's likely out.
The speculation is that one of the Tigers, and maybe more than one, were upset as the call is made. It's a 3-6 double play. Apparently, or possibly upset at Victor Martinez, who was chatting with Gary Sanchez and trying to play peacemaker. And so there may have been a little bit of a, hey, he's on the other team, what are you doing thing going on today.
Well, yeah, anything's possible. I know that the testosterone was really flowing, boy. The boys had their necks up. And as you would expect, 3 different bench clearing situations. Hello.
Zobrist out into the right center alley as he will motor into second with a double.
Second hit tonight for Ben. Had that pinch hit double here the other night, so his bat showing signs of life here lately. He smoked that one. Seems to me that when there's a big brawl like that, there'll be a little bit of a breakout of it. A little copycat crimes going on around baseball. Not that players think, hey, this is fun, let's have a rumble ourselves. I think the seed gets planted in your mind, and all that drama about whether somebody's hitting somebody intentionally or not kind of moves from the back of the brain to the front of the brain, and would not be surprised to see some skirmishes around the game in the next couple of days.
That really did have a hockey game feel to it, where late in the third period, after a bunch of fights earlier, you got a couple more. I mean, you don't normally see 3 dust-ups in the same game.
No, it used to be, you know, in the 70s, it seemed like there was a lot of that going on. Wild brawls with guys chasing each other around the field.
Well, they have more cameras and better angles now in high definition, so if anyone got a cheap shot in, they will likely be caught and identified and suspended. Pitch 100 by Romano as Schwarber out in the deep left. Did he get enough of it? Just shy of the wall. Duvall makes the catch. Near miss. Stretch time here in Cincy. 2-1 Cubs as they go for the sweep.
Game-changing new premier experiences at Wrigley Field. Seats featuring prime views and access to an exclusive club and first-class amenities. These new premier experiences will allow fans to enjoy Cubs baseball and America's most majestic ballpark in a whole new way. Visit CubsPremier.com to join the Premier Client Priority List.
Carl Edwards Jr. will face 8-9-1 Barnhart, a pinch hitter, and then Hamilton. Cubs lead 2-1.
Dunson came in, got a big out, and now Edwards takes his turn. Last night out of the pen, it was Wilson, Uehara, and Rondon. Wilson and Uehara were both sharp. And then Hector came in. Obviously, it was a lopsided game. Hector allowed 3 solo home runs in the 9th inning. It was in support of Mike Montgomery, who pitched and got the win. Was very good as he re-entered the rotation for the injured John Lester. John is expected to throw a side session this weekend in Philadelphia.
Wide for ball 1. Scott Schebler on deck. 18,191 the paid crowd. It is the largest attendance of the series. That's foul.
Cubs are now 11 games better than 500, looking for their 6th consecutive win. That would match their best streak of the year. That's how they came out of the All-Star break. Tomorrow in Philadelphia, Jose Quintana will pitch. So he's probably either on an airplane right now or already in Philly. Yeah. Jared Eichhoff works for the Phils tomorrow. Hendricks and Lackey Saturday, Sunday. Ben Lively on Saturday, and the Phillies have not announced the starter for Sunday yet.
Boy, the place will be rocking on Saturday.
It will be.
Lively. It'll be very lively. Swing and a miss.
No food up there. It's a hat trick for Barnhart. Arrieta got him twice. Once swinging, once looking, and now the, well, that looks so good fastball beats him.
Pitching coach visit.
Scouting report visit to go over Schebler, who's got power. He can tie this game, obviously. So I want to make sure everybody knows what the report on Schebler, how to start him, how to finish him. So if the commissioner does any limit mound visits next year, may see less of this, or maybe it would be more important for the catchers, the pitchers, to make sure they know coming out of that bullpen who they might face. And that's part of what Lester Strode does down there. This is just kind of a refresher called doing your due diligence.
Michael Lorenzen up in the home bullpen.
I got an idea.
I like your ideas generally. Go ahead.
Oh, you've seen football games, right?
Yeah,
that's a fine American sport where they run into each other all the time, and sometimes they'll show the sidelines, and the coaches will hold these signs up, these placards, and have weird pictures on them meaning certain plays.
Yeah.
You could do that.
Sure, that might be what.
Yeah. So Schebler's coming up to hit. You look into the dugout, and then they have cards they hold up with cryptic messages on them that would tell Carl how he should go after Schebler.
One and two. Disappearing curveball.
Hold up a picture of a winding road. Ooh, we need to throw him a curveball.
Swing and a miss. 2 down.
Couple of nasty curveballs.
Hamilton has struck out twice and grounded out once. Curve strike. Sal Romano very good tonight. 7 innings, 2 runs. Right now would be charged with the loss. Arrieta, the Cubs pitcher of record, left with a 2-1 lead, and that's the score here in the 7th.
And with all the struggles the Reds have had with their pitching this year, they have to be thrilled with what they got from Romano tonight. So he's put back-to-back starts together. It's pretty legit. That fastball slider combination, and if he can develop some touch with a changeup, got a chance to be a very successful major league starting pitcher.
Well, they're taking auditions.
Tonight was the 57th start by a rookie for the Reds. Second in Major League Baseball. The Rockies have used the rookie 79 times to far greater success. That was a big part of the Rockies story early on, how well all those young pitchers were performing. Here in Cincinnati, it's been a lot of rookies, but the rookie starters have an ERA over 6. This is our last trip to Cincinnati. We'll see the Reds one more time, though. Final weekend of the regular season back at Wrigley.
Edwards fields it cleanly. Flip to Rizzo. They go 1, 2, 3, and we go to the 8th. 2-1 Cubs. Hefty home run. Ian Happ, number 19 in the second inning. And the interview in the dugout with Tommy La Stella. Tell us how you feel, Ian. I feel good. Thank you. Back to you, Len. Shebler stays in and plays right. Michael Lorenzen will take over on the mound.
Well, he's got 3, 4, 5 to contend with here. That means Bryant, Rizzo, and Happ. That's an easy assignment. 55th time he has trotted out of the bullpen. 7-2 of the 448 for Lorenzen. Big, strong kid, big arm, throws hard.
Got some pipes, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's like Kyle Farnsworth.
Bryant doubled in the 6th and scored on the Baez single. They give the Cubs this 2-1 advantage. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Good let up there from Lorenzen. He's like, check out my guns. Shake it loose a little bit.
And he got him. Pedro Strop likely to get the bottom of the 8th. Play of the game. They Baez relay throw to Rene Rivera to nail Zach Cozart. That would have tied the game on the bottom of the 6th.
He made the big play defensively, and he's driven in the go-ahead run.
2-1.
Reds had tried Bill Lorenzen as a starting pitcher when he first came to the big leagues. Did not have success. Moved him into a late inning guy in the bullpen, but I'd not be surprised to see them try him again as a starter. He's showing pretty good feel for that off-speed pitch and the breaking ball to go along with that 96-mile-an-hour heater.
So 2 outs. He has struck out Bryant and Rizzo, and that brings up Ian Happ. Win tonight stretches the lead to 4 over idle Milwaukee.
As we mentioned earlier, the Brewers start a series in LA tomorrow, and then I think they have St. Louis and Washington after the Dodgers.
There's a 1-1 pitch upstairs for a ball. 2-1. Lorenzen, very crisp.
Yeah, well, good feel with that changeup tonight.
Set for a 3-2. Change up outside. Ball 4. Third time Happ has been on. You noticed Ian was taking some ground balls at third, and Joe said just to have some coverage over there in case of an emergency.
Yeah, he thinks he's got the skill set. He says he's got plenty of arm. He should be able to handle the position, so the need should arise. I think it'd be good for Ian too as a player to add that to his resume, to have that versatility.
2 hits for Baez. High pickoff attempt. Happ's got a pretty decent lead. Another check on him.
Barnhart has been very good. He's thrown out over 40% this year. One of the best in baseball.
Happ got way off the bag, and they told Lorenzen to step off.
Well, with Barnhart back there, if you're going to steal his base, you got to make sure you get an aggressive lead, and it'd be a little daring trying to get the jump on Lorenzen.
Swing and a miss. Just the shot of Votto and Happ having a conversation. I see Votto and Brandon Hyde talk quite a bit. Well, imagine that moment where a guy gets to first base. A little bit like being on an elevator with a stranger, right? You have that moment where you're like, do I engage in conversation, or do I just check Twitter on my iPhone? And then once you start talking, when do you stop?
Look up at the lights. Hey, Joey, what floor are we on? See you later. Have a good day. I'm going to second.
You pitch out, nothing doing. 1-1.
Something you almost never see in the game these days. Straight pitch out. Most clubs will just call fastball away. Well, this would be a good time to go here. You're trying to guess along with Lorenzen and Barnhart. You might think slider away. Be a tough pitch for Barnhart to handle.
Swing and a miss. Lorenzen strikes out Baez. 2-1 Cubs late as they go for the sweep.
Thanks, guys. Apply for an all-digital no-fee loan now at eclicklending.com. eClick is located right here in Chicagoland and rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. eClick Lending. Your mortgage just happened.
Late. Stroke to Cozart as we start the Reds' 8th.
First appearance in the series for Pedro, 56th on the season.
It will also be his final appearance of the series. Cozart in the air to center. Plenty of room for Ian Happ.
I think he was up 2 nights ago. I think he was up at all yesterday, and it looked like it was going to be Strope Davis to finish the ball game. Then the Cubs piled on, and they were not needed.
Slider is low. Swing and a miss. 97 and elevated. Iglesias and Storen.
Votto, nothing for 8 in his career against Strope, but he has worked 4 walks or taken 4 walks or been walked 4 times, however you want to stated.
Two and two on Joey Votto. The pitch. Hayward coming in. And did he catch it? He did! What a grab by Hayward. He just robbed Joey Votto. 2 down.
Yeah, I don't know what StatCast will say about that one in terms of catch probability, but it was a beauty for the perennial Gold Glover.
Keeps a tying run off base. Now Duvall with 2 outs. Swing and a miss.
Really like Rivera's actions back there behind the plate. Gives a good target. He's quiet, good hands.
This will drop down for a base hit. We'll give Scooter Gennett a chance.
That's 2 out of 7 with a home run in his career against Pedro.
Comes out hitting Cincinnati 6-5. Reds have 1 extra base hit. That was the Votto double on the 6th, on which Cozart was thrown out at the plate. And a strike.
This goes back to the conversation we've had a bunch since Billy Hamilton came into the league. Would you rather have Billy Hamilton in your lineup, or would you rather have him on the bench where you could use him as a pinch runner in a situation just like this? 1-run game in the 8th. Be quite a weapon to call on.
Oh, was it Herb Washington? The A's?
Yeah, Herb Washington was a track star that the A's signed.
I don't know if he ever batted
exclusively as a pinch runner, and he wasn't particularly good at that either. He had tremendous speed, but he wasn't a baseball guy. He was a track guy. Charlie Finley signed him.
Well, why doesn't somebody sign the Freeze?
Yeah. You know, the speed part was there, but the nuance of the lead, the jump, and reading pitchers and all that was lacking.
One and one on Gennett. Make it 2-1.
Imagine that now with the way the game is played and the way rosters are used. You know, they probably had a 9-man pitching staff back then, but to take up a roster spot with a guy whose sole purpose is to pinch run.
That's a fair ball. Thankfully, Hamilton is not running, as Duvall will be held at third. It's a double for Jeanette, but they still have not scored that tying run. Here comes Suarez with 2 in scoring position.
Jeanette 3 out of 8 now. This is a 2-seam fastball running across the strike zone, but it stays up and he stays on it. That's a real good approach by Jeanette. And Kyle able to cut it off. If that gets off that outfield wall and it kicks back towards center field, Duvall's going to score.
So Chris Bosio out to the mound before Suarez bats. He has been on base twice tonight. He lined out earlier to Bryant. He's had a terrific month of August, and he's hit 3 home runs in this series. Big moment as the Cubs try to hang on to the lead.
Pitcher spot is next. Peraza is out on deck. So this conversation was, how are we going to try to get Suarez out, and if we get behind, how aggressive are we going to be to try to get him out with the base open?
An outfield hit here would not only tie it, but probably give the Reds the lead. Fastball misses.
If the message was to pitch around him, then you pitch the entire sequence as if you started the at-bat 0-2, and you're just trying to make a perfect pitcher's pitch with each offering.
If you're going to miss in your favor.
Yeah, just kind of reaching back, trying to throw it 100 and flying open.
So they will walk him. And it will bring up Peraza.
The problem with
bases loaded.
Peraza, from the Cubs' perspective, you know, he doesn't walk much. He's not a home run hitter, but he hits all kinds of pitches. He has good contact skills.
They left the bases loaded in the 6th. Dunsing came on and got Winker.
Might be tempted to shorten up a little bit in right field, and now Jason Hayward is significantly moving in and towards the line and right.
And we play him toward the off field. Here's a pitch. High drive happens. Schwarber going after it, and it will not be caught. It'll bounce out of play, and the Reds have the lead. Suarez will have to head back to third, but 2 runs are in, and it's 3-2 Cincinnati as Peraza comes off the bench and comes up with a huge hit.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, kind of like La Stella. He's got quick hands, doesn't overswing. He doesn't hit the ball over the outfielders very often, but he really got into this one. Great effort by Happ, man. He was selling out. Ran out of time and distance.
So the Cubs will now have to face Iglesias in the 9th, trailing by at least a run. And the batter is Barnhart with 2 in scoring position. Ball gets away. Runner at third. Suarez thought about it for a brief second and then retreated.
No decision for Jake Arrieta here tonight, who was outstanding yet again.
So Arrieta and Romano will both get no decisions.
Pedro's now allowed runs in 3 of his last 4 appearances.
That gets through Rivera. Here comes Suarez. Big insurance run. A wild pitch charged to Strop. It's now 4-2. And a 3-1 count on Barnhart. Ball 4. This is Pedro's inning to get out of now that the Cubs are down a couple. And the batter's Schebler, who struck out as a pinch hitter against Edwards in the 7th, now playing right field.
Carl made him look bad with curveballs, so you expect to see spin here from Strop, slide ball, and he buried that one in the dirt, just overthrowing it. A little amped up right now, a lot of adrenaline pumping as things are not going his way.
All this happened after there were 2 outs.
Yep, and a great sliding catch by Hayward and right on Votto, and you thought, okay. Some of the innings the Cubs have put together against the Reds in this series.
Baseball's weird, man. Cozart with a single, Votto a double in the 6th. The 2 best hitters, they don't get a run. And they both make outs to start the 8th, and everybody behind them reaches, and they have the lead. Sometimes you just cannot figure out this game of baseball. Hunter takes off from first, and Barnhart steals second without a throw. That is his 3rd of the year. Three and 2.
Schebler, who likes to swing the bat, showing pretty good discipline, laying off those last 2 high fastballs. We'll see what his push comes to shove mindset is here on 3 and 2. A couple of guys in scoring position. Yeah.
Swings and misses to end the inning, but the damage done. Reds get 3, and they have a 4-2 lead to the 9th. Vinny's Beverage Depot, Jose Peraza, game-changing double. Reds down 2-1. After this swing, lead 3-2. It's now 4-2 as we go to the ninth. Vinny's Beverage Depot is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. Not done yet. Trailing by 2. They'll have to get it done against Raisel Iglesias. Jason Hayward will start it. John Jay is on deck. He'll bat for Rivera.
Iglesias an outstanding year, 23 out of 24 with a 1.88 ERA. Jay and then probably Avila for Strop. We'll send as many left-handed bats up there as you can against Iglesias.
Hayward hits a 2-bouncer right to Votto. That'll go 3-1. So 1 out, and it is the pinch hitter Jay, and it is Avila on deck.
Padres and Cardinals have gone to the ninth, tied 2-2.
Sam Tuibolala pitching early for the Cardinals. And I told you that just because I like saying Tuibolala.
Tuibolala.
One ground ball and into center, so that's a start. Now Avila.
Jay continues his great work off the bench, stays back on that breaking ball, pings it right back up the middle.
Cub fans in attendance haven't given up on this game yet. You can hear them in the background. Strike one called.
Yeah, hard to give up on the Cubs the way they've been going lately, and winning that game against Toronto on the homestand. A couple of key strikeouts. The old productive strikeout. There goes Jay.
They're going to throw through. Oh, he's out. That can't happen. Did he assume they weren't throwing through? Figured he'd take the bag. So Votto's not holding
behind him, but as I said, Barnhart is one of the better throwers in the league, and his eyes got big when he saw the opportunity to make the play, and he got off a great throw. And Jay did not have great speed. Strategically, you can understand it with Avila up there and Iglesias, a guy who gets a lot of ground balls. So, to get that bag, you keep the double play out of play.
It's one of those plays where it has to be 100% play to be a good play.
Yeah, I think he just got caught. I think he got a little bit of a late break too.
Called strike 3, and just like that, the ball game's over. You know, this one stings a little bit. Cubs had a couple of leads tonight, let it slip away in the 8th. They do take 2 out of 3, but their 5-game winning streak is over. 4-2 Reds the final. So it's off to Philadelphia now for the weekend.
Yeah, so the Cubs continue the stretch against last-place clubs. They split a 4-game set with the Reds on the homestand. Were able to sweep the Blue Jays and looked like they were going to get a sweep here in Cincinnati tonight as well, but Reds come roaring back, and you're right, it's a little bit of a gut punch.
Join us Sunday at noon on CSN for our coverage as the Cubs and the Phillies wrap up a weekend set right here on CSN.